Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another session of our tech series. I think this is the third or fourth one I've done. I know some of the other guys in the team has done some sessions as well. Thank you for joining us. My name is Louis Trichard. I work in the Advanced Technology Department at First Technology KZN. And we've been doing some exciting stuff over the last little while. And I've also been excited to share some of my knowledge and some of the best practices and the way people work with you guys. Now, today I'm going to touch on a topic that is people don't talk about often. It's sort of the elephant in the room, but I think it's a very important topic. And where we're at the moment with the lockdown and the way business is going and what we need to achieve. And the topic is, how do I fully utilize the resources that I have? How do I, if I've got an Office 365 license, what is available to me? What can I use so that I don't have to go out and spend more money on other licenses if I've got access to similar products already? And then how to leverage the licenses I have to achieve my day-to-day tasks cost effectively. So I'm going to jump straight in to Office 365. So most of you guys on the call will have Office 365 licensing. And as you know, Office 365 is made out of two parts. It's made up of Office. Microsoft's actually changed the name to Microsoft 365. So let me rephrase that. So Microsoft 365 is made up of two parts. The Microsoft side, which includes the on-machine applications like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, Publisher, Access, and the like. And the 365 side of it, which is your online productivity side of things. And today I'm not going to really go into the on-premise or the on-machine installations of the software. I really do anyway. If you need training on the Office suite, I suggest you reach out to your account managers and we can do one-on-one sessions for you guys. I'm going to touch on the online applications that you do have access to and try and help you to navigate the apps and show you apps I think will make your life a lot easier. So let's jump in. And by the way, at the end of the session, I'm going to leave a bit of time for Q&A because I think in a session like this, it'll be nice to work with real life experiences and real life examples. So if you can think of any issues that you have that you might want to resolve in your organization, I'm happy to answer those questions at the end of the session, and we can look if we can put a solution together, albeit doing a bit of architecting, which is the primary role, I suppose, of my day-to-day job. Anyway, let's jump into Office 365. You guys know how to get to the landing page. You know the anatomy or the makeup of the landing page. I'm not going to go through this again, but I want to touch on the app launcher or the applications that you do have access to. Now, firstly, if I go click on all apps, you will see all the applications you have access to. In this environment, I have got a E1 plan. So this is the Enterprise One plan. That is all the online applications, excluding the on-machine applications. And as you can see here, I've got access to Forms, something I haven't touched on really in this series. We've got our Outlook, PowerPoint, we've got Teams, something we focused on a lot. I've got Calendar, I've got KwaZulu-Natal, something I want to touch on. SharePoint to do. We've got Analytics, Delve, Planner, Stream, Whiteboard. Dynamics, you might not have access to. I have access to it because we use Dynamics 365 internally. OneDrive, Power Apps, Sway, Word, Yammer or Yammer in Afrikaans, Tasks, Power Automate, OneNote, and Excel. Now, I can't touch on all these applications, okay, but I am going to go through some of them today. The ones I'm going to go through is Forms. Definitely going to touch on Forms. Going to touch on KwaZulu-Natal. I'm going to touch on My Analytics. I'm going to touch on Stream, Whiteboard, OneDrive, Power Apps, and Power Automate. I know that's a lot of information, and I'm going to go pretty fast. So if you see something you like and you want to know more about, please reach out to our account managers, and they will happily set up a one-on-one session with myself or our first digital team if it requires SharePoint development, and we'll be happy to assist. But before I go into those applications, I quickly want to go into the admin center. Now, if I go into the admin center, now this is somewhere where most people try and stay away of. It's pretty much like a car's engine. If you open the bonnet, if you're not a mechanic, don't touch anything. You know, that's generally what the feeling is when you go to an admin center. But as a business owner or a manager, you need to understand how to pull reports. Now, what I've done is I've gone into the admin center here. It's open it up, and I'm going to just for now show all, and I want to go down to reports. Now, in the reports, there is a usage section. So if I click on the usage section, I will be able to get a report. Now, I just need to move some of these things out the way. I get to the usage section. Now, this is our usage in our organization. So this is live. And in here, I can see the usage for overview. So I can overall view what people have been up to in my environment, what technology they're using, what are they not using, you know, are they using the right tools, are they active, are they productive? And here I can see that in the last little while, email activity, and I mean, we understand this because of the pandemic we're in, the crisis we're in, you know, this would have gone down, but our email activity has dropped by 37%. We can also see that other activities has picked up. So you can monitor this in your environment. I can also see my email activity, OneDrive files, SharePoint, Skype for Business, Office activations, Yammer, if we use Yammer, Microsoft Teams activity. As you imagine, it's quite high. And then I can look at Forms activity and Forms Pro activity. If I need to get more reports out of this, I can go to the Power BI dashboard. This we will have to install for you, this report functionality, but there you can drill down in the reports even further. So if you know, Power BI is a very rich environment of business intelligence and to be able to do reporting. So I'm, okay. So that's not going to give me access because I don't have access to that. But in my work environment, this is a demo environment, but my work environment, I have access to that. So if you want a more rich experience or a deeper experience in reporting, we can assist you setting this up. Now, how do I run the reports there? Very easy. I've got 7-day, 30-day, 90-day, and 180-day reports. And I can select these reports by clicking on Select the Report. If I drop down, I've got Exchange reports, Forms Pro, Teams 365, OneDrive, SharePoint, Skype for Business, and Yammer. If I drop down on the drop down next to it, I can see, for instance, email app usage. So I can see what users have been using different applications. So have they used Outlook for Windows, Outlook for Mac, Outlook for the web, Outlook mobile, or any of the other clients. And this is very important that I know this, because again, you know, there's a misconception that remote work happens in front of a PC right here I'm sitting. You know, I think the old school of thinking is that a user needs to log in at 8 o'clock in the morning, sit in front of their PC, work on their PC till 5 o'clock, and then log out. But the reality is that we do use phones. Sorry, they're blacked out. We do use phones. We do use tablet devices. We do use laptops. We are on the move, and we do interact with our data with different applications. And the nice thing with the reports here is I can see what is being used to access my data, and then I can also see the users. If I go load more, it will show me the users. If I go into the users here, it also show me what the users are doing. If I go to mailbox usage, I can see my mailbox usage, and etc. And forms, I can go look at the forms activity for the last 7 days, and I can see who has created the workloads. So we can go in here, and then we can start seeing how the users have been using the different technologies. And this is very helpful in seeing a trend of how people work. Okay, very important. The nice thing with this is as well is I can export this. So if I go export, it will export it for me into a Excel spreadsheet. And once I've exported it to a Excel spreadsheet, this is going to ask me to log in. You can see there's exported it to the Excel spreadsheet. I can open this up, and then I can start manipulating it either into my any existing BI tools, or I can import it into my ERP system. So I can manipulate this data. So you can see how things have been working and the date ranges in our environment. Okay, this is a dev environment, so obviously these are not true figures, but we can see the user data. So instead of going out there getting this really overpriced, I've seen some remote monitoring tools that's out in the market, and I do think they're really overpriced, and I actually think they take it too far. If you want to have a more granular approach to this, if this doesn't suffice, okay, so if this, and for me, this should suffice for 99% of organizations, then I suggest you chat to your account managers, and we have a product called Lakeside. Now, Lakeside is an agent installed on the device, and it does go more granular on not just what the user has done, but also looks at the user experience. Is the machine running healthy? Is there problems on the machine? When do the user log on, log off? What applications are being used? And as a monitoring and servicing tool, that is really, really powerful. So that if you need more granularity in this, I suggest that you look at that too. But for me, and on 99% of businesses, this should suffice. Okay, and then that's the reporting side of things. I don't think I'm going to show anything else in here. That should suffice for now. Then another thing I want to draw your attention to is My Analytics. Now, My Analytics is for users to self-analyze how they are working. Now, again, in this day and age where we need to manage our time, manage how we work, also with the crisis we're going through at the moment, having to remote work, and most people, unlike myself, has got families at home. You've got a wife and kids, and time. You just got to time manage. And I find that My Analytics is a nice way for you to manage your time. This is not a stick for your manager to use with you. It's just not accessible by management. This is only accessible by user. And you can see how much focus time you have available in your calendar, how many quiet days meaning evenings I didn't work after my office hours, how many people I collaborate with, and then my collaboration time. I could also see insights into other regions, but again, this is a demo environment, so I can't go in here obviously and show you an example. But if you go into your Office dashboard, you go to My Analytics, you will find this here, and you can better manage the way you work and adjust the way you work. We had quite an interesting discussion, myself and a colleague of mine, where we went into both of our analytics, and it turned out since lockdown started, between the two of us, we've only had 6 evenings out of 40 that we didn't work late. Now that doesn't mean that we're working any harder than anybody else. It just showed that the work patterns. Okay, it showed us when we have free time, when we don't have free time. It showed us when we answer most of our mail. It shows us who we were collaborating with. And another interesting thing is that we picked up is I can see now the people I talk to or collaborate and work with the most, and I can spend focused time on them. Or if I think I need to be working better with someone in the team, and according to the analytics here, I'm not working with them, I can work on that relationship. So again, My Analytics is a very powerful tool that you can use to view how you're working. So that is My Analytics. Guys, just as a comment, you have got a Q&A section in this live feed. You're welcome to pose any questions, and I'll happily answer them as I'm going through the session. Cool. So let's get into the first real application that I want to talk about, and that is forms. Now, a lot of companies in the past have used products like SurveyMonkey. You know, I'm not meaning to name and shame stuff, but they've used product SurveyMonkey, which is a paid-for solution, and it pretty much does what Forms does. And Forms is included in your subscription. Now, with Forms, you can go create forms, okay, that you can use to gather information. Now, I'm going to not create a new form just yet. I just wanted to show you, yeah, you can create forms and you can create quizzes. Okay, a quiz is a self-marking test where you ask questions and people can answer it, and then you can mark it afterwards, or it can set up to mark it yourself. Forms is to gather information, so you can do this for. Let's use a simple example: a lunch order form. So if I've got a canteen in my business, now we have a business in town that has about 20 floors and only have one canteen. And the problem was lunchtime was such a rush for everybody going into the canteen to get their orders. So what we helped them with was create a lunch order form. So we created a lunch order form, and you can see on the screen I'm creating it. And then I added a question. So I added a choice. I said menu choice, and we can put there probably carnivore, vegetarian, we can put vegan, and yeah, we can put the different choices in there. And then what I can do is I can set up branching, okay? So if I go set up settings, I can set up branching into the questions, and then that will allow me to send those questions off to the different other options, okay? And then we can create our menu. We can walk people through the different sessions or different menus in the menu. So that is a pretty cool way. And then what happens is when somebody fills in this form, you know, I'm not going to go through this completely, but I can preview the form here. So if I preview it here and I say menu choices, there's carnivore, submit, you can see there it submits the response. And these responses can then be picked up by the canteen and see exactly what the analytics is for that form. Now, this is not just for lunch order forms. You can use this for keeping your customer databases up to date. So you could have a form that you send up to clients to make sure their information is up to date. You can use stationary request forms. You can use it for leave request forms. You can use it for travel requisition. There's no need to go build out a whole or go buy a whole different bunch of applications to be able to fill out forms. And the cool thing about forms is that obviously I can customize it with themes. I can also change the language, and then I can also share it. So I can share this form. So the settings, I can choose only in my organization or out of my organization. Start date, end date, I can shuffle the questions, etc. And I can share it via a link and a QR code. Now, this is cool. You know, a QR code, if you're running a competition, you could have a poster and put it in as a QR code, and users can scan it and they can fill in the information on their phones. I can embed it in a website, and I can send it out by good old email. So for me, Forms is a really powerful tool to keep databases up to date, to have certain workflows in place. Again, simple thing like a lunch order menu, etc. Quizzes, on the other hand, it can be used for KPIs. So if you do skills development in your organization for your staff, you could use this to use it as to see the skills transfer, see if skills transfer has been done properly. If I do make videos with Zoom, training videos, sorry, not Zoom, please forgive me, I said that. If you make training videos in Stream, I can add a quiz to that video in Stream, and that can be answered for facilitate training in my environment without going out and having to sign up for expensive training solutions in my organization. Quizzes can also be used. You know, I've got a customer who uses quizzes to do to vet CVs. So they're a development house, and they get in Cape Town, and they get a lot of CVs in when they advertise a job. And what they've done is, instead of having to sift through thousands and thousands of CVs, they send out a questionnaire, and then the top 1,000 gets pre-approved, and they send out another questionnaire quiz, and then maybe the top 30 will be asked to come in for an interview. But even before that 30 reaches the interview stage, they've got an even more difficult questionnaire that they fill in the day they're at the offices. And once I've submitted it, it's on a tablet. Once I've submitted it, it goes through to the interview taker and the interviewer, and the interviewer can then decide whether she wants to interview the candidate or not. So again, very powerful. For health and safety quizzes, you know, if your organization does health and safety, and you need contractors to fill in forms all the time over and over and sit through induction courses, you could set up a quiz, and you can send it out to the contractor. They could fill it in, and if they get over 80%, then they don't have to sit through the induction courses. If they get below 80%, they have to sit in the induction course. So there is so many things that you can do with forms. Cool. Hope everybody is still with me. And if you've got any questions about forms, please pop it in the chat, or chat to one of your account managers. Then the next one I want to look at is Stream. So let's go to Stream. Now, Stream is almost like your own internal video library solution. Okay, so yeah, you can build out all your video training. Also, all your meeting recordings that you do take in Teams does get stored here. So if I want to go look at my content, I can go to my meetings, and you'll see my meetings gets recorded here. More importantly is I can create channels. So I can create channels, groups, and upload a video. I can create a channel. So yeah, I'm going to just create a training channel. Training channel, Office or Microsoft 365. It's going to take a bit of time to get used to that. I can say it's a company-wide channel. I can go change, select an image. I don't have any images at the moment. I do, but let's just select that image. Beautiful sunrise the other morning, and then I can go create. Now, create the channel, and then I can start uploading videos that I make either on Stream or that I've made with a normal camera. So, you know, with a normal DSLR camera, you can record videos, and then you can upload it into Stream. Now, if I want to go, I can edit this, obviously share it, and I can invite people to this. And obviously, there's a library to look at the videos. I'm just going to go to a video that I recorded earlier for a session. Nothing's here. So just go in here. Oh, shucks. Looks like I've taken all the videos out. So oh, there's a video, yeah. So if I go into a video here, you can see there's trending videos in my environment. Okay, so I did a public speaking course. So if I go into this public speaking course video, you can see here, there's the video. Let me just pause this. I don't want to play now, but I can go look at the settings. I can do the playback speed, the quality. I can pop it out. And if I go into the video, I can also change the video setting to show people theater mode. And it also has got the transcribe functionality. So I didn't turn it on for this, but I can also have this video transcribed, and then I can share that transcription out to users. If I go into this video, I don't think I've transcribed this one, but in here, I don't have, this is not my own video. So if it's my own video, I can turn on captions, I can turn on the transcription, etc., and share this out in our environment. And you can see I've done quite a few videos where we've done training for users in our organization. And this is very powerful. And users can go work on these videos or look at the videos and learn and watch them. So that is Stream. Very powerful, very useful, and can be used in your organization. Next application that I do want to have a look at is OneDrive. So I know we've covered OneDrive in the past, but I think there are some tools in OneDrive that people haven't used or don't know about. So I want to go into my OneDrive. Yeah, again, this is a demo OneDrive. So firstly, in OneDrive is, remember, this is your space in the Microsoft Data Center, it's your space in the cloud. And this is definitely something you should use instead of Google Docs or Dropbox or Box or any of those functionalities. I can categorically say that those things are not secure, and you can do a bit of research on your own, and you'll also find the same and realize that your data does get mined, etc. OneDrive is securely in your 365 tenant. Each user that has a license gets 1 terabyte of OneDrive space. If you have an enterprise plan, you get 5 terabytes per user. Now that's a lot more than what Google Drive and Google Docs and the rest of the tools out there offer you. And this is built into your environment. And the nice thing with OneDrive is that I can manipulate the folder structure, so I can create folders. So this is going to be the Microsoft 365 docs, for instance. I can call this, create this. I can create folders in here, and inside the folders I can create files. So in here I can go from here, go create files. So let me just go create, and you see the nice thing, and this is the next thing that's pure powerful about Office 365, is that I don't necessarily need the applications installed on my machine, because I do have access to the web applications. And I can go rename this document to Microsoft 365 OneDrive training. And once I'm done, it's saved. I just don't even have to click save. I go out of it. There's a document there. It will rename it now. It'll change the name now once we're done here, and then I can build out a folder structure. The other cool thing what we can do is I can synchronize this down to my machine. So again, I can synchronize just this folder or the entire OneDrive down to my machine. So if I go to all files, my files, click synchronize, it will open up the OneDrive application. Once I've opened up the OneDrive application, it will then synchronize it to my Explorer. Let me just show it to you here. If I go into my Explorer, it's just busy doing its thing. I'm in a rush this morning, but it'll open up OneDrive. There we go. It's open. Sign in. Signing into my demo account, and it'll give me. It'll offer me some training and locations, etc. It's asking me for the password. Hope I've got the password right. No, let's try one more password. Oh, there we go. So the password was not SpongeBob, like all my other passwords. So that will sign me in. And then once it's signed in, you see it'll give you the location. I can change the location. All my OneDrive is stored in the D drive. So I can go onto the D drive, select, choose a new folder. Okay, it doesn't like that, but you guys get the idea. Go next. And then next, and we'll offer some training. Get the mobile app later. Again, you can get OneDrive for your mobile app. And then if I open my OneDrive, you will see here that now I have 2 OneDrive First Technologies. So again, I've got one that is for my real one actually, and the one is now demo one. And you can see there's this folder here that I've just created online. If I go in here and I go save a file in here, so I can go create a new file. So let's go create a new Word document. And I'm just going to call this salary increases. As soon as I create it, it'll synchronize it. And then I'll also be able to see it in here. So if I go in here, let me refresh this. If I go back to the files, then you'll see there is my, oh, it's not uploaded yet. As soon as it's uploaded, it will show in here. Let's just go back here and see if it's uploaded yet. No, it's still busy uploading. Once it is uploaded into that folder, then I will be able to see it. Go in here. Once it's in there, I'll be able to access it. And the nice thing with this is, if I were to share, and this is the tip I want to show you today, if I want to share this folder with an assistant, I can do one-on-one sharing. So I can select it, select share. I can then go choose who I want to share it with. And I always advise you choose specific people, apply, and then I can go share it with John, because it's important that he knows about the salary increases, and send. What he then will get on his side is a link which he can click on, and it will either open, it will open into his OneDrive that will go to shared, and he will be able to in here see what is shared with him and what is shared by him. Okay, so he will open up and see that is shared with him, and I'm just quickly going to show you how that looks like. So I'm going to go into my first technology one, and I'm just going to share the studies folder with that account. Actually, that's going to take too much time. But if you'll get it here. If you open the folder, it will open it. Once you synchronize, it will actually synchronize it down to John's machine, and he'll get it, the folder name, or the person that shared with him's name, and the folder that's been shared. So you can see there, Michael Saunders had shared white papers with me. If I go into the white papers, I can see the white paper documents that he shared with me. If I look at our running team, there's our running team that's been shared with me. And I can go look in this document. So that becomes a persistent share between the two of us. Very powerful functionality to share documents in between two individuals. Just as a comment, it's not a place to build out a sharing infrastructure. That's again what SharePoint is for. But this is very powerful if I need to do one-on-one sharing or have one specific person that I need to get documents to. I can use this functionality. Another new functionality that's been included in OneDrive, which I personally think is very powerful. Let me just go back, open it up here. If I create a new folder, I'm just going to create a new folder, and I'm going to do this as travel claims. Okay, so I'm going to create this folder, and I want people to upload documents into this folder for me. So I can request files straight to this folder. So I can say request files. What are you requesting? I'm requesting the travel docs, travel claims for May. Okay, let me just type that properly. May 2020. Okay, next. I can then share this link, or I can send it directly via email. Okay, so if I share it via email, it'll go to Jean, and I'm picking on Jean today. Go to Jean, or I can copy this link and send this link out. When they get this file request, they will open up the link, and they'll be able to upload files into that location. Okay, so what I can do is I can request files. Let me go open that link. Next, that's it there. Copy the link. If I go into a web browser here, I just want to show you what it looks like. Paste and go. It's going to open it up, and it'll give me a demo account is requesting files for travel claims for May 2020. I can then, as the person that's been requested for, select files. You can see a select files, and I can go upload, and that's my travel claim form for May, which is a beautiful wave. Okay, so I've selected that. If I click upload, it will then upload that file. I'm not going to do that because it's quite a big file. But as you can see, it becomes a lot easier now to request information. No more emails being sent out, and it comes in drips and drabs. You don't know when you've got to keep on checking your mail. You can open up a folder, request the information, and users can put it straight into that file. And I think the different applications for this is quote requests, board packs. I've got a customer that uses to the company secretary collates board packs, and what she does is she requests all the information from the different department heads to go into that folder, and then she collates the board packs. Very powerful, because the users that upload the folders don't have access to the information. So that is very powerful. So something that I definitely suggest you look at. Then the next application I want to touch on is KwaZulu. Now, a lot of people in the industry, I've noticed, are going, are putting groups on WhatsApp, and they using applications like Telegram and the like. Now, the issue I have with these applications is that I don't know where my data is stored. Okay, so I don't know where the users, I don't know what data is going out. I don't know where my data is sitting. I don't know who's accessing my data. Yes, Teams can be used as a chat application. You know that you can get Teams on your phone, as the other applications I showed you earlier. And you can use Teams as a chat application. It's quite a heavy application on your phone, meaning that there's a lot of stuff happening around it. But if you're looking for a WhatsApp replacement or a Telegram replacement that's company specific, I suggest you use something like KwaZulu. KwaZulu is built into your licensing, and you can use it very similar to WhatsApp. And the beauty of KwaZulu is not only is it similar to WhatsApp, I can also do time and attendance tracking in it. I can also send out jobs to users. I can create group chats. I can create one-on-one chats. All is encrypted and secure. Now, and I can also do analytics on KwaZulu. So that is also very, very powerful. So I can do analytics and see how users have been using it. I've just sent myself a one-time PIN so that I can sign it up. So I can sign people up by adding their telephone numbers in here. So it's not something that everybody can join straight out from their phones. So you can get invited to this. So I'm just going to quickly select the PIN here. 765. Okay, verify, and now that number is registered under this demo user. And if I go in here, it will show me my KwaZulu dashboard. So again, think WhatsApp on steroids, or Telegram on steroids, WhatsApp for business with more functionality. It is very, very, very powerful. And again, it's secure in your tenant, in your Office 365 tenant, and you can use it with your staff. So that is signed up. The nice thing with this is you've got a management portal, so you can see I can create groups. Okay, so there's groups I can create. I can obviously there's learning videos in that, but I can create groups. I can look at my organization and obviously create groups. Sorry, this is just taking me through this. I can go look at the directory who is on KwaZulu. I can look at the analytics. So if I go into analytics, it will show me the analytics. So adoption report, usage trends, activity surveys, attendance card, polls, recurrent surveys, jobs, training cards, and location cards. And then I've got different actions I can create. So I don't have any actions yet at the moment, but I can go do new actions. and I can do a form. So if I want users to fill in a form, I can do feedback, I can do attendance, I can do surveys, I can do checklists, I can do announcements, all through the KwaZulu application, which essentially, for lack of a better statement, is WhatsApp on steroids. And the other nice solution is I can add connectors, so I can connect it in to other applications. So if I have custom applications like an ERP system, I can use this for signatures. So if you're a delivery company and you need people to sign on an application, you could use KwaZulu and let them send that data straight through to your business application. So again, I can go look at all the connectors. I don't have anything in place at the moment. And then under business solutions, there are customer engagements, employee connect, sales automation, and then you can also build out help desks, corporate communications, and just the leaderboard if you have a competitive sales environment. So KwaZulu, to me, I say this about a lot of products, is really for me the best thing since sliced bread. When it comes to a IM communication that's encrypted and allowing our frontline workers to communicate with customers and communicate back to the organization. So that was KwaZulu. The next little application I wanna just touch on is Power Automate. Now, Power Automate is, again, you've heard me say this before, the best thing since sliced bread. Well, this truly is the best thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. Power Automate is a way to automate day-to-day tasks in your environment. Now, I could spend the whole day, I could spend a week training on Power Automate, okay? But I'm just going to run through some of the functionality of Power Automate. Now, Power Automate is for your users, your end users, that can automate certain menial tasks. Now, to look what tasks there are available, I can go to templates, look at my templates. I'm just going to go, okay, it's again just asking me for a region, so I'm just going to quickly do this. South Africa, I don't want promotions. Let's have a sip of my coffee too. Okay, it's setting it up. And then templates is pre-built flows. Okay, so here I can see the different pre-built flows, and there is a truckload. Okay, if I just go show more templates, show more templates, show more templates, you will see there is really over 10, well, there's over 25,000 templates, actually more. There's now 451,000 if I look at this number here. But what it does is this flow save Office 365 email attachments to OneDrive for Business. So if you're in an environment where people are logging tickets to a service mailbox, and you have someone at the moment that goes into each mail and moves that attachment into OneDrive, I can now automate that. So I can go say, save all the email attachments to OneDrive. I can get a push notification when I get an email from my boss. I did this, and for a couple of years, she thought I was really efficient in answering the emails. Actually, I wasn't, because all I did was I set up a push notification that every time Janita emails me, I get a notification that she's emailed me, and then I can quickly respond. So if you want to keep your boss happy, that is something that can help. But there's also more important ones, I suppose. So you can do record responses in SharePoint. So remember I showed you the forms where you could have a questionnaire to customers to update their details. I can now have those responses automatically right into a SharePoint list, which is very powerful. To take it even further is I can build out customized flows, and I'm going to show you that to you just now. But there's request approval. So if I need approval flows, so I could create a form for a leave request, and then when the user fills it in, it sends it to that person's manager for approval. So that's leave request approval. I can do approvals for petty cash. I can do approvals for for stationery. You name it. I mean, you can do the approvals. I can track responses. I can, you know, a lot of the guys, I'm not even touching on Planner today, but Planner is a very powerful replacement to something like Trello and the like. And I can create intelligence behind those Planner tasks. So I can say, as soon as I flag an email, it automatically creates a task in Planner. How cool is that, guys? I mean, how often do we sit in email and we think, okay, I need to actually, a task needs to be created from this. Now I can set it up that if I get a mail, as soon as I flag it, it creates a task in Planner. And again, there is a plethora of templates in here that you can work with. Also, this is a cool one. Remember I showed you that forms? Now you can update your customer information automatically. So you could have a form that has customer information. What you could do this is just as an example, is have the form customer facing or external facing, user fills it in, customer fills it in, writes it to a SharePoint list. Then once it's written to the SharePoint list, it triggers an approval flow that a accounts manager or a department head can approve that entry. And once they approve it, you can have it right into a SQL database, which is part of your ERP system. So you can keep your entire customer base up to date by using a flow. I mean, that's thousands of rands in development and buying other products, and you can do it right here in Power Automate. If you feel you're getting a bit daring and a bit more brave, I suggest you can start creating your own flows. Just before I go there is a learn functionality here. So if you need to learn more about Power Automate and Flow, there is a university type setup that you can go through. But just getting to create, I can go create my own Power Automate flows. So if I go into create, it will show me, what do you want to create? Do you want to create an automated flow, something that just automates, runs once a day or once, do you want an instant flow? So if I trigger it, if I press a button, it must run. Do I want a scheduled flow? So that's something, again, that runs at a certain time. Automated flow is just automatically when a mail comes in, it runs. UI flow, okay? So UI flow is very powerful. So you could teach it a workflow, okay? So that will take a lot of manual work away. And then if I have a business multi-step process flow, I can do that. I'm going to touch on that. And let's just see here. So I can say, I can name it, new name, choose it. Okay, this is going to, so I can analyze jobs, etc. But I can go, let's just go none. Let's just go test. Yeah, test there, create. So I can do user onboarding, user training. I mean, how often have we battled with creating onboarding users? Okay, just for the sake of time, I'm not going to be able to go into this, but this is where you'll create those flows that will make user onboarding automated. So you could have a form, a new employee fills in all these details, uploads the attachments. Once he clicks submit, that is sent through to all the different departments, to IT to create his, to set up his new laptop, to HR to load his new user profile, etc. So that can be done through Power Automate. Then the last application I want to look at before we go into a Q&A session is Power Apps. Now, Power Apps, it's the next best thing to slice bread, which I said earlier. So Power Apps is where you build customized mobile applications for your organization. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but you know how you go to the App Store and you download applications and you have to pay for them, and it doesn't quite do what you want it to do? Well, through the Power Apps platform, I can create I can create applications for my organization and deliver them straight from organization. So an example is Stephen Yarlett created my selfie mask. Okay, let me rather go do a new app, Canvas app, and I'm going to show you some of the templates that's out there. So you could do help desk. You could do, let me just do an app, get started. So I'm going to use my phone layout with the app template. So that's what the app preview will look like. And I can do asset checkout. I can budget tracker, cost estimator, employee engagement, health plan selector, leave request, service desk, shout out. So I can go choose a multitude of templates. Okay, that's there. I can also go create this from scratch and then build out applications for my organization. I mean, you just do the site inspection one. That's what it'll look like. And then I can go use, and then it will open up the Power Apps Designer. Now, I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I can create applications in my environment that link back to my SQL databases, links back to my on-premise environment. So as you can see here, SharePoint, OneDrive, SQL, Salesforce, Dropbox, Azure. You know, there's all these other connectors that I can build into a Power App. Now, I just see Adobe Sign here. So if you have Adobe Sign licenses, you could create a signing application for deliveries in-house. Again, if you need help with this, please reach out to our account managers, and they will happily chat to you about it and set up a session. Guys, that's me around using what you have to effectively manage costs in your organization. I'm going to leave the last 9 minutes or so for a Q&A. During the session, no questions has come through. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this time for some Q&A. Thank you for watching.